all you can and you're running with kings. But how far could you go if you run with the wind? And the chances you take are what give you wings, and you can fly.
Good afternoon. Thank you all for joining us. It's my pleasure today to be speaking with Kent Roberts, who was the founder of the Civility Center and board member for many years on the executive of the Civility Center. And we have some key questions today that, based on his experience in the field, we're hoping Mr. Roberts can share some insights and perspective on for us. So our first question, Kent, and thank you so much for joining us, is how do you think, or do you think, that the need for civility has changed in the past decade?
Well, the need is greater than ever. However, what people have actually done with the word civility uh, has caused it some problems in really being able to cultivate many of the outcomes we truly desire as individuals and as a society organizations. So that is, people have almost used civility in helping further the division within society. I say that in such that somehow people will almost demonize civility as being soft and being unimportant and being something that they choose to say, well, uh, civility is just one of those soft words that's not that really important. When in reality, civility obviously is the building block of better. It's the building block of what we need to discover together to be able to build, whether it's build a better organization, a better family, a better community, or what have you. So in many ways, they have taken the word and actually made it into part of the divisionary dogma and politicized it. And what we need to do is get civility back into the idea of civil discourse, the civility of conversing together and finding what it is that we share and what we can build upon. I think that there are many people who are enjoying the division between wherever it is within the society, who honestly believe that they can further their own personal interest to keep the division going. They don't want people to discover things together. They don't want to find out what it is that we share and have in common that we can start building from. So just the whole politicization of the word civility has, you know, has actually driven it even farther into being part of the divisionary rhetoric.
Wow, thank you. That's great insight. I've never heard of that before. Divisionary dogma in reference to civility, and I was rather drawn to your phrase, the demonization of civility. And I wonder if you could explain a little bit more about that.
Yes, I there are groups of people, and I don't mean this on whether it be conservative or liberal, left, right, or what have you, that are enjoying this time of division. There are many people in corporate America who may think that by keeping their employees or their company, their organization somewhat divided at odds, that they will prosper because of that. It creates different types of tension that they think that somehow they can survive and thrive in that kind of environment. And so they use, I think that civility then gets in the way of building when it is the exact opposite. Um, People need to understand the value of civility. We talk about it as if it was just something nice. We don't understand the true positive nature and what civility actually does in creating a better society, a better organization, a better family, and just better life, period. And we've lost that. We somehow have got the dogma all mixed up, and they got people around, and it creates disinformation. And disinformation keeps you from being able to discover things that you share and things in which you can go ahead and build upon. And I think that is part of the disinformation era that we're in right now. People enjoy operating from disinformation. They don't always want to know the truth. They're very happy to have their adjusted level of knowledge and facts that they are going to operate from. And civility, when you have true civil discourse, it breaks things down and you discover common knowledge, and you actually discover facts and something that you can work on and agree upon and build from. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Thank you. And so we have just a few seconds more for this segment. Mr. Roberts, do you mind? Are there any sort of recommendations or suggestions you can make for individuals who might be becoming aware of this disinformation era and who maybe are learning that they haven't been present to what they're listening and attending to? Do you have any words of advice or suggestions for how a person could start to kind of cross over this divisionary divide and work towards more civil communication?
Well, you mentioned the key word, aware. I don't think we even realize the true value and understand being aware of the value of civility. We've lost that. We get it wrapped up in just being treating people with dignity and respect. And that's as far and as deep as it goes. They don't understand the true action that civility can bring. It's a collective understanding that is gained from civil discourse that we can build upon. And that's what we're really talking about. When you have civil discourse and you can discover some common themes and some common understanding, that is which you build upon. That makes your organization better because you're dealing with a whole looking at things through a different prism when you start discovering this collective knowledge. We are so much better together than we are apart. And this isn't soft. This is good, hard-nosed work. And we need to be aware of that. And we need to commit more to the value, the true value of what civility and civil discourse brings to us and our organizations and people.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Roberts. And we're looking forward to hearing you in our session 2 coming up soon.
The reason why each of us comes to this earth, and your actions will always speak louder than words, and you'll never know what you're capable of until you try.